Hello and merry off-season. After a little bit of an absence, I've finally got some time, and I'm going to be doing this series which is based off of something I have done religiously every year for the last 4 years, and that is simulate the next NASCAR season in NASCAR Racing 2003 with the new cars, new drivers, and the use of in-ratings to set the ratings, which has its faults, but it's the best I can do for this. The rules go as follows. It's the same point structure, just on a little bit of a condensed format. 25% races should allow for one pit stop in most of the events. Stage points are still present. Drivers will earn those on laps that I'll select based off of the real races the best I can. And other than that, it's all the same. You'll see a lot of fictional and guesstimated paint schemes and sponsors because, frankly, none of them are set in stone at this point in December. And it also will not age well because it does not have a good history of picking the right winners. For example, I think last year it picked William Byron to take the Daytona 500 and Jimmy Johnson to take the championship and get number 8 in Homestead, which was not close. It's also the first year I did it, selected Austin Dillon to bring home the title. So it has its faults, and another side effect of doing it in NASCAR Racing 2003 is that I can't control the cautions unless I'm directly in the race. So there will be no stage break cautions, and there probably won't be cautions in many of the races because there's simply the AI don't crash much in this game. And also, I'd like to add that this is a very intensive series to make. It takes a lot of my time to produce one part of this. So, depending on the reception it gets, I may or may not do all of the season. 36 races would push well into the actual regular season of NASCAR on into the summer. So I might just do the Crown Jewel races for video and still do the rest for myself and have a end of year report, but we'll see how the reception goes. But anyway, I think that's everything I need to cover. This intro section will be much more abbreviated in future because I have so much to explain. But on to the Daytona 500. And as we start, we'll see that in Speed Weeks, Aric Almirola and Ryan Newman had some great times in qualifying. Front row for both of them. The qualifying races were eventful. They were messy. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Bubba Wallace both upset in their respective races. Row 3, Matt DiBenedetto, Kyle Larson. Row 4, Tyler Reddick, Clint Boyer. And Row 5, Ryan Preece and Erik Jones. Now, as we come to get the green, Aric Almirola leads it. He's got help behind him from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Matt DiBenedetto. Two very aggressive plate drivers right behind him. He can't feel comfortable in that position, and it shows as he goes down into turn 1. He will let that 21 get a run from the 8, pushing him, and by the time he gets to the backstretch, you'll see he's just not able to hold on. 21 follows him up the track, makes the move, and suddenly he is pinned to the top 3 wide. Nothing he can do. Tyler Reddick would keep looking, get the run, and he would lead lap 1. And not just lap 1, he would lead the opening 13 laps of the race, and that includes the first 10 laps that were stage 1. He had really no contest behind him. Erik Jones rode there, but he couldn't do much. The Hendrick cars at one point were lined up 4 back, but could not do anything. Tyler Reddick's car was just stout. The Roush cars eventually formed up. You'll see Ryan Newman way back in the shot there, but don't worry, he makes his way up to the front. But they couldn't do anything about Tyler Reddick either. Reddick was simply too strong. And it would be him, with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. pushing, that would take the first stage. No contest whatsoever. The challenge would then come from Ryan Newman, though. Newman would get under him in 3 and 4, and with a little bit of help coming from Ryan Preece, he would be able to clear the 8 and he would take the lead and lead for a little while Tyler Reddick got shuffled back. But don't forget about him. He'll be back. That car is stout. And here comes 2 to go in the stage. Alex Bowman makes it 3 wide, and things get messy. Aric Jones is pushing, nearly 4 wide at one point. And on the back stretch, they moved 3 wide for the lead. Tyler Reddick pushing Aric Jones. Coming to the end of stage 2. Out of 4, Reddick will want to make a move, but can he? He's gonna look. You'll see it right there. Brad Keselowski does not go with him when he drops out, though, and just not enough. You'll see right here, he just comes up just a little bit short. Close, but not quite. He would take the lead, however, to start stage 3. The Penske cars would not be able to hold for him, and the 8 would run away again until the first incident of the race. Ryan Preece presumably has a tire failure, and he finds the wall. No caution for it, but the pit stops come right after Ryan Preece finds the wall. Green flag pit stops for everyone on the lead lap. Clint Bowyer, Kyle Larson, everybody, and then Austin Dillon gets a penalty. Yeah, he skipped pit road. No clue why. He finished 17 laps down, so he didn't lose much. But Aric Almirola would take the lead after pit stops. Tyler Reddick was not able to hold on to it. See him way back there, but coming late in the race, Reddick's able to get up there, and he's looking to make a move. He's got help from Matt DiBenedetto. That 10 car is stout, though, and Aric Almirola would hang out on the outside, but Reddick got them all jumbled up. Single file was the way he wanted it, and suddenly, with 7 to go in the Daytona 500, they were 2 by 2 behind him, and he would not be able to block because he did not have a good enough car to do it. Christopher Bell, Matt DiBenedetto right behind him, Denny Hamlin there too. Lots of good cars. Tyler Reddick not to be forgotten. And when they got to lap traffic, Bell would finally have a chance to make a move, with Clint Bowyer and Bubba Wallace sitting in the catbird seat if there was a mistake. Aric Almirola would not make one through 3 and 4 or the front straightaway. You'll see him right here. He sets himself up to get through lap traffic well. He does it. With the lead, one more car to get through. McDowell tries to get out of the way, and Aric Almirola follows him up the racetrack. Clint Bowyer gets the run. Clint Bowyer would go to the lead with help from Martin Truex Jr. with a lap and a half to go in the Daytona 500. Truex Jr. is being pushed by Kyle Larson. Behind him, Chris Buescher and Tyler Reddick making it up there again as a rookie. Clint Bowyer gets clear. Martin Truex Jr. tries to make the move, but he gets stuck in the middle. Kyle Larson would clear him, get the run off of 2, and here he comes. Half a lap to go in the Daytona 500, and Kyle Larson has the run. He's going to the inside with help from fellow Californian Tyler Reddick, and he's going to make it there. He makes it stick. He's on the bottom, and he's clear. Can he hold off Tyler Reddick? Can Tyler Reddick try what he did in stage 2 again? No, not enough of a run, and Kyle Larson would take the Daytona 500 in the first race of the year on the strength of 1 lap led. He only led them to the flag. What a come-behind victory for Larson, and what a great run for second place finisher Tyler Reddick. It really sets that he's going to have a good rookie year. And hopefully, for that team, he will. Larson locks himself into the playoffs. And looking at the racing, it's insane that it went caution-free considering how messy some of it was. I mean, you see him 3 wide making some rather late and crazy moves, but there was no major incident other than Ryan Preece. But the main story is Kyle Larson taking the victory at Daytona. Unchallenged on the last lap, no one could compete with him, and I guess we'll move on to the points. And now, looking at the points after Daytona, we see Kyle Larson atop the chart, locking himself into the playoffs with that win and 5 playoff points, only 1 lap led. Behind him and the regular season points leader right now, picking up right where he left off in Xfinity, Tyler Reddick. Last year's champion in Xfinity Series, picks it right up, and he's right at it again. 54 points, great stage points, a playoff point, setting himself up well for a playoff run in his rookie year. On down, you see Aric Jones expected. Clinton Boyer also expected, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starting off strong in Daytona. Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, Martin Truex Jr. all getting a good start to their seasons. Martin Truex Jr. hoping for another title run if he can get to the championship 4. Cole Custer, a strong debut, netting 30 points and setting himself up in the playoff position. And on down, Chase Elliott, Aric Almirola, Matt DiBenedetto, Alex Bowman, and C. Bell. Now, as for the cut line and everyone below or above it, it's a little bit of a mess right now because Daytona tends to be that, exactly, a mess. So, next week is when we'll find out who the cars that have a shot are. You know, you see the 8, and he's good. He's got a shot. Larson definitely has a shot now that he's locked himself in. But the cream will rise to the top at the 1.5 miles. Daytona can well as be ignored. You need the points, but it's not the most important race. Well, I think that will do it for this week. So, again, merry off season. And here's to Daytona 500 coming sooner rather than later. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. I won't say subscribe yet because I'm not sure if I'm doing the rest of this series, but maybe next week. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.